Hello, I'm Jim Pierce, one of your selectmen. I'm recording this just a little before Christmas in 2012. A couple of my remarks are on the seasonal side, so if you happen to stumble across this in April, some of the remarks will be a little out of context. As was the case with the other 5 parts of the series, any opinions expressed are mine and not necessarily reflective of what the other members of the Board of Selectmen feel on these issues. But in case anyone out there is trying to figure out what to buy me for Christmas, my favorite wine is just about anything red for $10 or $12 a bottle. No, I'm not exactly a connoisseur. I'm also not soliciting bribes. My real wish list can be found in the long-range capital plan that was submitted to the Board of Selectmen on November 29th. That's my favorite wine. Now, my least favorite wine is taxes are too high in Sandwich. Well, they are high. There's a reason for that. I'll get to that in a little while. My second least favorite wine would be the town doesn't take care of its buildings. Why should we vote for a new one? Well, past boards of selectmen, in response to their perception of the public mood and the state of the economy, have been balancing budgets by deferring preventive maintenance and capital investment. So that's why our buildings and roads are deteriorating, and that's why we don't have state-of-the-art municipal facilities like the much sought-after senior center, for example. Now, this Board of Selectmen has mustered up the courage to publicly contemplate asking for a new building. And what do we hear? Taxes are too high, and I'm not going to vote for a new building because you didn't take care of the old ones that are only 60 or 50 years old. In the seasonal context, I have a comment regarding that. Bah humbug. Now, why are taxes high in Sandwich? Well, if you put up the chart now, it's quite simple. Sandwich, our family is some 22,000 souls, and we support those folks from a tax base of $3.7 billion. Seems like a big chunk of money, $3.7 billion. And the tax rate in FY11 was something a little over 12, FY12, a little under 13. Next year, we just voted it to be about 1372, I think was the number. Big number. But if you do some correlations, look at the town of Mashpee. Their family is 14,000. They have $4.5 billion to draw on, and their tax rate, what a surprise, it's 2/3 of ours. And if you look at the poster child for low tax rates here on the Cape, Chatham, they only have 6,000 people, and they have almost $6 billion to draw from. It's just like any family. The more mouths you have to feed, and the smaller smaller the endowment you're drawing from, the higher the tax rate is going to be. There's an absolute correlation. I've run the numbers for 25 different communities in southeastern Massachusetts. It's about the only thing that correlates 100% to tax rate. Just dividing the tax base by the number of people you're trying to support from that tax base. Now, Sandwich actually has managed to violate the laws of motion a little bit here on that one by being thrifty. We only spend about $3,200 per citizen on local government. Now that's considerably below the state average for communities of our type. For example, if we spent the same amount per citizen as our neighbors in Mashpee do, our annual budget would be $10 million a year higher. $10 million a year. That would buy a whole lot of, or finance the debt on a whole lot of buildings, and it would pave a lot of roads. But we don't have that tax base, so we don't have that number. Now, On the other side, the Sandwich as a community, we spend less than any other community in our neighborhood on the 3,500 students, the school-age kids in our community. In case you're checking the arithmetic, the 3,500 includes the ones at Sturgis and the ones at Upper Cape Tech, and the others that are scattered around at John Paul II and some of the other schools. But on average, Sandwich spends about $11,500 per student on all those categories. State average is more like $12,500. So the school system's pretty well managed too in terms of how much they spend. So to terminate this brief piece, all the students, the ones in our district, the ones at Sturgis, the ones at Upper Cape Tech and other places, God bless them, everyone, and Merry Christmas to all of you.